10 Stoic principles that will sharpen your focus and discipline, or rebuild your mindset or Stoicism. What if the secret to unshakable focus, iron discipline, and a rebuilt mindset was already written down over 2,000 years ago, not by a modern self-help guru, not by a billionaire on a podcast, but by a Roman emperor who ruled the most powerful empire on earth, a former slave who had nothing, and a statesman who faced death with calm in his eyes? That secret is Stoicism. And before you think this is just another philosophy lesson, let me stop you right there. This is not about memorizing quotes. This is not about sounding smart at dinner. This is about taking ancient wisdom and using it today, right now, to silence the noise in your head. Stop letting distractions steal your life, and build the kind of discipline that most people only wish they had. You are about to discover the 10 Stoic principles that will completely change how you think, how you focus, and how you show up every single day. These are not theories. These are tools, and the people who apply them do not just feel better, they become better. Stay with me through all 10, because the last few will hit differently than you expect. And if this channel has ever given you something valuable, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button right now. New content drops regularly, and you do not want to miss what is coming next. Let us get into it. Principle 1. Control what you can, release what you cannot. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the foundation of Stoic thinking. Everything in life falls into one of two categories: things you control, things you do not control. And the majority of human suffering, anxiety, stress, frustration, lost focus, comes from obsessing over the second category while neglecting the first. Think about your average morning. You wake up, check your phone, and immediately your mind is flooded with bad news, someone's opinion, traffic updates, and a notification that pulls you somewhere you did not plan to go. Before you have even stood up, your focus has been hijacked by things completely outside your control, and you spend the rest of the day chasing your own attention. The Stoics called the things within your control your hegemonikon, your ruling faculty, your thoughts, your intentions, your responses, your effort. These are yours. Nobody can take them. And when you train yourself to pour your energy only into what is yours, something remarkable happens. You stop being reactive. You become deliberate. You stop being a leaf in the wind and you become the wind itself. Practice this today. Every time you feel anxious or distracted, ask yourself one simple question: is this within my control? If yes, act on it. If no, release it. Do this consistently and you will reclaim more mental energy than you ever thought possible. Principle 2. Your thoughts are not facts. Choose them wisely. Epictetus said, "Men are disturbed not by the things which happen, but by the opinions about the things." Read that again slowly. It is not the event that destroys your focus. It is the story you tell yourself about the event. Lose your job, and one person crumbles. Another person rebuilds faster and stronger. Same event, completely different internal narrative. The difference is not luck, it is the discipline of thought. The Stoics believe that every external event is neutral until your mind assigns meaning to it. A traffic jam is just cars on a road. A critical comment is just words. A failed project is just an outcome. Your interpretation, the story your mind layers on top of reality, is where your power lives or where it dies. This does not mean pretending bad things are good. Stoicism is not toxic positivity. It means recognizing that your mental commentary about reality is always a choice. And like any skill, you can train it. Start by catching your automatic thoughts. When something goes wrong today, pause before you spiral. Ask yourself, what am I telling myself about this? Then ask, is that story helping me or hurting me? You do not have to believe every thought your brain produces. You are the observer of your thoughts, not the prisoner of them. This single shift, from reactive thinking to chosen thinking, is where real mental discipline is built. Principle 3. Live with purpose, not impulse. The Stoics did not believe in drifting. Seneca wrote, "If a man knows not to which port he sails, no wind is favorable." One of the biggest reasons people cannot focus is not because they are lazy or broken. It is because they have no clear destination. Without a purpose that genuinely matters to you, every distraction becomes equally important. Social media, gossip, pointless conversations, mindless scrolling, they all fill the vacuum that an absent purpose leaves behind. The Stoics called the highest purpose eudaimonia, a life lived in alignment with your deepest values and best nature. Not pleasure, not comfort, not even success by society's definition. Alignment, integrity between who you are and what you do. When you have that, distractions lose their grip. You do not need to fight temptation as hard because you are too busy being pulled forward by something that actually matters to you. Spend time this week writing down 3 things: your values, what you believe matters most; your vision, where you want your life to go; and your daily actions, what you actually spend your hours on. If those 3 things do not match, that misalignment is quietly draining your focus, your energy, and your sense of meaning every single day. Purpose is not found. It is decided. Decide yours. Principle 4. Embrace discomfort as training. Marcus Aurelius voluntarily chose difficulty. He led armies in brutal campaigns, faced betrayal, watched his children die, and governed under immense pressure, yet he did not break. Why? Because he had trained himself to see discomfort not as an enemy, but as a teacher. The Stoics practiced something called ascesis, deliberate self-discipline through voluntary hardship. Cold, hunger, silence, manual labor. Not because suffering is good, but because the person who can endure difficulty without being controlled by it is free in a way that no comfortable person ever is. Here is the modern truth. Your brain is wired to chase comfort and avoid pain. That wiring made sense for survival on the savannah. It does not serve you when you need to wake up early, do the hard thing, finish the project, have the difficult conversation, or sit with boredom long enough for real focus to develop. Every time you choose discomfort when comfort was available, you are strengthening the muscle of discipline. Every time you stay when you want to quit, you are training yourself to be someone who does not fold under pressure. Start small, take cold showers, fast for a morning. Sit in silence without your phone for 30 minutes. Do the hard task first. The point is not the specific practice. The point is the repeated message you send to your own mind: I am stronger than my impulses. I do not need comfort to function. Principle 5. Focus on process, not outcome. One of the most crippling habits of the modern mind is outcome obsession. We attach our peace, our worth, and our focus entirely to results we cannot fully control. And when results disappoint, which they will, we crash. We lose motivation. We abandon the process entirely. The Stoics had a different operating system. Epictetus taught that you should give everything to the process and hold outcomes lightly. Do your best work, bring your full self, then release attachment to what happens next. This is not resignation, this is wisdom. When you are laser-focused on the process, the daily work, the quality of your effort, the consistency of your habits, something powerful happens. You stop being paralyzed by fear of failure because failure no longer defines you. You stop procrastinating because you are no longer waiting for guaranteed success before you begin. You stop comparing yourself to others because you are running your own race. Athletes who peak under pressure understand this. The greats do not think about the scoreboard when they are in the middle of a play. They think about this step, this breath, this moment. Build a process you believe in. Show up for it daily. Do the work with full effort and full honesty. And then, and this is the hard part, let go of needing a specific outcome to justify that effort. The discipline of showing up is the victory. Everything else is a bonus. Principle 6. Guard your time like it is your life. Because it is. Seneca's most powerful work was not his letters to kings. It was a short essay called "On the Shortness of Life." In it he wrote words that should shake every person reading this. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it. Time is the one resource that cannot be recovered. Money lost can be earned again. Relationships broken can be repaired. Opportunities missed can be recreated. But a minute wasted is gone permanently. Every hour you spend on what does not matter is an hour taken from what does. The Stoics were ruthless with their time, not in a cold or antisocial way, but in a deeply intentional one. They said no to obligations that drained without giving back. They protected their mornings for philosophy and reflection. They refused to fill their hours with gossip, pointless entertainment, and the opinions of people who did not matter to their mission. You do not need more hours. You need to protect the ones you have. Start an audit this week. Track how you spend every hour for 3 days. Do not judge, just observe. You will find pockets of lost time hiding in plain sight. Social media, unnecessary meetings, conversations that go nowhere. Once you see where your time is going, you can make intentional choices about where it should go instead. Your calendar is your autobiography. Make sure it tells the story you want to live. Principle 7. Practice negative visualization to sharpen gratitude and resilience. This one surprises people. It sounds counterintuitive. But stay with it, because it may be the most psychologically powerful practice on this entire list. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. In plain language, they deliberately imagined losing the things they valued most: their health, their relationships, their work, their freedom. Not to become pessimistic, not to live in fear, but to shatter the complacency that comfort breeds. When you take things for granted, you stop appreciating them, and when you stop appreciating them, you stop protecting them. Negative visualization wakes you up. It reminds you that what you have today is not guaranteed tomorrow, and that awareness transforms ordinary moments into profound ones. Marcus Aurelius used to remind himself, when you kiss your child goodnight, think quietly that this child might not be there tomorrow. That is not morbid, that is presence. That is the Stoic way of saying, be here, fully, now, because now is all you actually have. This practice also builds resilience. When you have mentally rehearsed loss, real setbacks lose some of their power to destroy you. You have already faced the worst in your imagination. You know you can survive it. And that knowledge is armor. Spend 5 minutes each morning imagining your day going wrong in small and large ways. Then go into your day grateful that it did not, and prepared if it does. Principle 8. Be honest with yourself above all others. The Stoics had no patience for self-deception, not because they were harsh, but because they understood that a lie you tell yourself is far more dangerous than any lie someone else tells you. It lives inside the walls of your own mind. It shapes every decision you make, and it blocks the self-awareness that real growth requires. Marcus Aurelius was one of the most powerful people on earth, and he spent his private journals ruthlessly examining his own failures, vanities, and weaknesses. He did not write meditations for anyone else. He wrote it as an act of radical self-honesty. In the modern world, self-deception is everywhere. We tell ourselves we will start tomorrow. We tell ourselves we are too busy when we are just too scared. We tell ourselves we cannot change when what we mean is that we have not chosen to. These are comfortable stories and they cost us everything. The Stoic practice is called prosauche, self-attention, a daily, honest examination of your thoughts, motives, and actions. Not to punish yourself, but to see clearly. Because you cannot fix what you refuse to see. Each evening, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What will I do differently tomorrow? Do this without ego, without excuses, and without shame. Just truth, just clarity, just growth. Honesty with yourself is the beginning of every transformation that has ever happened in a human life. Principle 9. Build relationships that elevate you. Stoicism is often misunderstood as cold or solitary. It is not. The Stoics deeply valued human connection, but they were highly selective about the quality of the connections they kept. Epictetus warned repeatedly about the invisible influence of the people around you. Tell me with whom you spend your time, he essentially said, and I will tell you who you are becoming. This is not elitism. This is neuroscience. The people you spend the most time with literally shape your thoughts, your habits, your standards, and your sense of what is possible. If you are surrounded by people who are comfortable with mediocrity, you will gradually make peace with it too. If you are surrounded by people who are growing, pushing, building, and improving, that energy becomes your baseline. Standards are contagious, both low ones and high ones. This does not mean abandoning everyone who is not on a self-improvement journey. It means being honest about who lifts you and who drains you. It means seeking out mentors, communities, and friendships built on mutual growth and genuine respect. It means being the kind of person worth being around, so that the right people want to be in your orbit. Audit your circle with the same honesty you apply to your time. Who makes you think bigger? Who challenges you to be better? Who believes in the version of you that you are trying to become? Spend more time there. Your environment shapes your mindset more than almost anything else. Principle 10. Act now, without waiting for perfect conditions. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." This is the Stoic principle that separates the people who change their lives from the people who only think about changing their lives. Action, immediate, imperfect, repeated. The Stoics had a word for it, kathekon, the appropriate action, not the ideal action, not the perfect action, the action that is appropriate to this moment, with the resources available right now. They understood that waiting for perfect conditions is just fear wearing the costume of wisdom. You do not need to have everything figured out before you begin. You do not need permission. You do not need a guarantee. You need to take the next right step with the clarity and courage you have today, and trust that the steps after that will reveal themselves as you move. Focus is not found in stillness. Discipline is not built in planning. Both are forged in the heat of daily imperfect action taken towards something that matters. So here is your challenge. Take one thing from this list, one principle that hit you hardest, and do something about it today, not this week, not when you feel ready. Today, because the Stoics did not just philosophize, they lived what they believed, and that is what made them extraordinary. Closing, your mindset starts here. You have just walked through 10 principles that have shaped some of the most resilient, focused, and disciplined minds in all of human history. These are not ideas that belong in a library. They belong in your daily life, in your morning routine, in how you respond to setbacks, in how you spend your hours, in who you choose to become. Stoicism is not a destination. It is a direction. Every day you wake up, you get to choose that direction again. Some days you will nail it, some days you will fall short. That is not failure. That is the practice. The mind that keeps choosing, keeps returning to these principles, keeps examining itself, keeps showing up with intention, that mind gets sharper, more focused, more free. And that is exactly the kind of mind this channel is built to help you develop. If this spoke to you, if something in here sparked something in you, then do this one thing right now. Subscribe to this channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload, because this is just the beginning. There is so much more coming. Deeper dives, practical daily tools, mindset frameworks, and content designed to help you build the discipline and focus that will change the trajectory of your life. The community growing here is made up of people just like you, people who are serious about growth, people who are done drifting, people who are choosing every day to become more. You belong here. Subscribe, stay, and let us build something powerful together. The journey is just getting started. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Marcus Aurelius.